I have been fortunate enough to visit theme parks and amusement parks all over the world, which has given me the opportunity to ride some of the best coasters and so many different kinds and varieties of coasters from so many different manufacturers from theme parks all over the world. However, I have not had the chance to visit every theme park and ride every coaster that I would love to ride because there are so many out there and not enough time to do them all. So here is a bit of a personal video, a bit more about Coasternaut. Here are my top 5 bucket list roller coasters and theme parks from across the world. I'd love to hear your theme park bucket lists and roller coaster bucket lists down below, because I know everyone has different sorts of rides and parks that they want to visit and have been to different parks themselves. So I'd love to hear your different lists compared to mine in the comment section below. If you do enjoy today's video, please do give it a like and subscribe for future channel updates and personal videos regarding myself, and of course more videos on theme parks and roller coasters in the future. So then, we'll start with the coasters. My first 2 bucket list coasters almost come as a pair, and these are Iron Gwazi from Busch Gardens Tampa and Steel Vengeance from Cedar Point. These are often regarded as the 2 best roller coasters anywhere in the world, and they are both RMC Hyper Hybrid coasters. Now, even though they're both Hyper Hybrid coasters by the same manufacturer, they are very different. They're both just over 200 feet tall. Steel Vengeance has a top speed of 74 miles an hour, whereas Gwazi is slightly quicker at 76 miles an hour. However, they focus on 2 very different things. Iron Gwazi is super intense, has a 91-degree drop with 2 inversions, and is all about getting to that final brake zone as quick as it can do, absolutely throwing you through its inversions and twists and turns in its layout and overall intensity, full of airtime, whereas Steel Vengeance is a much longer ride. There's 5,740 feet of track, so it's a very long ride experience. 3 laps all around its massive course, huge outer bank turns, the most airtime on any coaster ever in the world. Personally, I think I'll actually prefer Iron Gwazi because I'm all about that intensity. That's the kind of coaster I like. Sorry if you heard any background noise there. However, the overall massive ride experience in experiencing the most airtime on any coaster ever, Steel Vengeance sounds fantastic as well. I think that'll be a close 1 and 2 for me. So there's obviously much debate amongst the enthusiast community about which of these 2 is better. They're both hyper hybrids like RMC, one of the best manufacturers anywhere in the world right now, and therefore both of these 2 RMC hyper hybrid coasters are therefore on my bucket list. Staying in the United States, yet moving to Islands of Adventure down in Florida. We're now going to the Intamin multi-launch coaster that opened in 2021 with Velocicoaster. Now, this, don't get me wrong, has an absolutely fantastic layout. 4,700 feet of track, 4 inversions, 70 miles an hour top speed. Absolutely looks fantastic. It looks like a great layout up there with the likes of Taron and Tiger as one of the best Intamin coasters. However, for me, this is completely made by the theming. The theming of the Jurassic Park films all around this coaster is absolutely phenomenal. This is probably one of the best themed coasters anywhere in the world, and for that reason, when you combine a coaster of the layout that good, such a good layout with that top level of theming, there's nothing else out there like that combines the top level of coaster layout with the top level of theming. Only Universal could do this, and therefore Velocicoaster is probably at the top of my bucket list right now. I can't wait to get back to Orlando and ride this fantastic coaster. Going all the way to Japan now with Fuji-Q Highland at Dodonpa. This is a 2001 SNS compressed air launch coaster, and it has the most intense and fastest launch coaster anywhere in the world. It's actually SBNO at the minute because it's been injuring people because of how fast that launch is. The original layout had a massive airtime hill. It's been reprofiled with a massive loop now, but even so, it looks fantastic. 111.8 miles an hour in just 1.6 seconds. Do I really need to say any more? Obviously, it's not a very long layout, it's a massive launch, really large swooping turn into that vertical loop, back into the brake run. But this coaster looks fantastic. The ferocity of that launch must be fantastic to experience. At the same park, we have another SNS coaster, although this is Ejanica, the 4th Dimension coaster. This is a bigger version than coasters like X2 at Six Flags Magic Mountain, a 249.3 foot first drop, which you take backwards, and then you free spin throughout the whole ride. I mean, I don't need to say any more. That it must be one of the most intense, crazy experiences out there. 78.3 miles per hour top speed, 3 inversions. This is often regarded as the most intense, crazy, unique coaster in the world, and it sounds it, doesn't it, based off those stats. I can't wait to eventually get to Japan one day and ride this. And that brings us into sort of my first bucket list park. I think it's obvious already, I've just said 2 of these coasters back to back, but it is Fuji-Q Highland. Such a beautiful setting, right near Mount Fuji. Beautiful park, 7 coasters, including the likes of Dodonpa and Ejanica, as well as the Fujiyama Togo Hypercoaster, really good attractions in this park, and like I say, absolutely beautiful theming in the Japanese highlands. I can't wait to potentially get to Fuji-Q Highland one day. The next theme park on my bucket list is easily Silver Dollar City in the USA. Now, this has to be one of the nicest looking, most themed parks anywhere in the world. You know, it's not just about the overall theming, but the rides here are fantastic as well. You know, you've got the Mack Extreme Spinner, Time Traveller, you've got the RMC Wooden Coaster Outlaw Run, the new RMC Remake Fire in the Hole with the great theming there. It looks fantastic, but the theming of this park looks to be one of the best theme parks in the world, up there with sort of Disney level and Universal level theming. And you know, they try and build an immersive environment. It's like you're part of this town that's completely separate to the outside world, and to have those fantastic rides and attractions within a park that sort of tries to isolate you, take you outside of the normal world. Can't wait to get there. Plus the cinnamon bread, oh my god, that stuff looks absolutely delightful, doesn't it? Six Flags Magic Mountain now. I obviously had to come to the Six Flags chain at some point. Now, this is the park that currently has the most operating coasters anywhere in the world. There are actually currently 20 roller coasters that are operating at Six Flags Magic Mountain. That is amazing. You know, even if you go in there just to increase the credit count, 20 coasters, that is amazing. But they aren't just all bad credits. You know, there are some fantastic coasters here, such as Twisted Colossus, Tatsu, X2, Viper. Obviously, the Six Flags chain isn't necessarily known for all of its theming and not always being the most well kept and maintained. However, you've got to go. There's so many coasters in one day, so many fantastic rides and attractions, and some of them are truly world class as well. I mean, that pretzel loop there on Tatsu, sorry, that, I mean, wow. Classic coasters as well, such as Revolution, launch coasters. They have just a massive wide range of coasters, and I have to get them to increase my credit count. And we now go over to the Cedar Fair chain, and we're obviously talking about the roller coaster capital of the world, Cedar Point. 17 coasters in a beautifully scenic area around Lake Erie over in Ohio. You know, you've got fantastic coasters like Maverick there, but a lot of their coasters are also record breakers. You know, you've got Magnum XL 200, Millennium Force, the new Top Thrill 2, or formerly Top Thrill Dragster. So many iconic roller coasters at this park, full of great attractions. You know, you easily need 2 or 3 days to experience everything here. Absolutely huge. So many unique coasters, like I say, all of them that could go down in history, and I've got to get here one day, even if it's just to ride Steel Vengeance. That could be, as I've said before, one of the best coasters ever on my bucket list. So Six Flags Magic Mountain and Cedar Point, the two sort of leading chains over in the US, easily have to get to these parks one day. And the final bucket list park for me is Europa Park. I've actually not been there, even though I'm in Europe. I've been to plenty of other parks in Europe, but not Europa Park just yet. And this consistently wins awards for the best theme park in the world, or the prettiest theme park in the world. It's actually owned by the Mack Rides family, so it is a fantastic collection of Mack coasters, but they also have some fantastic other coasters there that aren't Mack Rides coasters, such as Wodan, the GCI Wooden Coaster, or Silver Star, the B&M Hyper Coaster. And obviously in 2024, they're also getting another Mack Rides coaster, which is the standout Voltron coaster. That looks like it's easily going to be the best ride at the park and potentially one of the best coasters in Europe. Obviously, this is, again, similar to Silver Dollar City, all around some of the best theming in the world. So many different themed areas, themed to different countries across the world, and fantastic merchandise, fantastic food places to go there. Really, really looks fantastic, and I can't wait to get to Europa Park one day. So let me know down below, what are your bucket list roller coasters and theme parks? I'd love to know. Everyone obviously wants different things, enjoys different places, and I can't wait to see down below where you guys want to visit and what coasters you want to ride in the future one day too. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.